Today we entered our last weekend of the base launch version of Black Ops 6. Next week, we'll have Season 1 with a host of new content, the new Warzone integration, and not quite anything for zombies yet, but today we did get our final weekend update that not only added some great content changes people were hoping to see, but also some further changes expanding on the balancing ahead of Season 1 and the launch next week. Today, we're running down what you need to know in regards to Black Ops 6 and what's new on deck and still to come. So drop your thoughts as we go along, drop a like if you enjoyed the video as well. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all things Black Ops 6. We're chasing down 600,000 subscribers, nearly only 5,000 more to go, so if you're part of that, nearly 75% of viewers not subscribed, I'd love to have in the community. But for now, let's get into it. So starting out with the content side of things, the things that you can actually experience for yourself, we got a new playlist update this weekend here starting today that includes Stakeout 24/7, 10v10 Mosh Pit, and Nuketown 24/7 still sticking around. Honestly, great additions, I think, for the featured playlists here at this. Nuketown obviously being that fan favorite everybody's still loving from being introduced once again into Black Ops 6. Stakeout 24/7 being that face-off map that everybody usually surfs for. Warhead is the other one you get all the time, but Stakeout is definitely, I think, the preferred of all the four we have right now. And then 10v10 Mosh Pit is something that is a massive upgrade for the larger maps. That coming along with Lowtown, Nuketown, Skyline, Vault, Scud, Red Card, Rewind, and Derelict. So while you do still have some maps that are smaller in size and a bit more closer quarters like Lowtown, and I'd say Skyline and Derelict also kind of fit that bill as well, Vault, Scud, Red Card, Rewind, and Vorkuta all, I think, greatly benefit here out of having 4 more players per team. It helps that pacing out a little bit. So a little bit of everything for everyone, and I'm here for that. The fact that Treyarch are already doing this early on, adding a bit of everything for whatever you're hoping to accomplish with your gameplay experience, I think that's big. The only thing that I would say would have made these playlists in particular a little better is if there was also a hardcore Stakeout 24/7. For some reason, we don't have that. I mean, we have hardcore Nuketown 24/7, we have hardcore 10v10 Mosh Pit, and we still have hardcore face-off Mosh Pit, but we don't have a standard hardcore face-off Stakeout 24/7 at the moment, which is odd. I think the core version still helps out greatly. You can absolutely still get a lot of headshots and stuff done like that, taking more engagements rather than not in some of the other playlists, but things like hardcore would absolutely make your bat or your launchers for kills way more easier than going into core and doing that on Stakeout 24/7. So it doesn't help out too much for those that are trying to accomplish those specific things, but still, I'll happily take the playlist. Personally, I'm just looking forward to jumping into more of the 10v10 playlist, primarily just to check it out for a game or two. The pacing did feel better, which is definitely nice, so excited to jump in and play that quite a bit more. Only thing that I think could have made this weekend as a whole leading into Season 1 better overall is, well, I mean, double XP would be pretty cool, but obviously that didn't happen. I kind of wager the next one perhaps would be maybe next weekend with the launch of Season 1 to celebrate that, which again brings me to the question that I've posed before. Now that we have no cap to how far into the progression we can go this year, we have everything up front with the traditional prestige system upwards of level 1000, what do you think is the most reasonable frequency to see double XP events? Like recent years, I think that it was the start of Modern Warfare 3's year of support. We saw like every other week was a double XP weekend, but with those level caps per season, it was kind of meaningless unless you were trying to play catch up and you didn't have a whole ton of time to play during the season. So now that we have everything laid out for us that we can accomplish whenever we want, what do you think would be a good frequency at that? Like once a month for a weekend, once every 2 months, twice a month if there's a seasonal launch in there? I'd love to get your input on that. But anyways, along with the playlist update and the ability to grind out your content for challenges, camos, or whatever the sorts you're working towards, we got actual updates as well to the game. The biggest of them being further changes to the recon and combat specialty perks. The free wall hacks that you got with the 3 recon perks to give you that specialty, well, it was 2 seconds to start. This past week, we saw it adjusted to 1.5 seconds, and even earlier today, we saw it updated to 1 second, but now it was once again twice in one day adjusted to where it is now half a second long. This, I'm curious to know also if you think this is enough, because while I don't think that I mind a quick 1 second flash and probably won't find myself dying to it as much now, especially on core maps, face off is still hit or miss just because it's all so small. So half a second versus 2 seconds is kind of inconsequential, but I think the bigger question is, does it have a place at all in the game? Like, I get what they're attempting, but personally, I never saw a need for it. I'm not necessarily bothered by it right now, but I also don't think that this is needed in the game. Like, if you told me to name one thing that you'd want to see in your next Black Ops game, it surely wouldn't have been a free wall hacks perk. So even if it's a bonus, I'm curious to see if they do further adjust it as mentioned, or if they remove it entirely and just give you that HUD edge indicator like the high alert notice you get as well. So we'll see. We also saw additional XP earn rates adjusted. This not necessarily overall, but instead for improperly scaled game modes and match bonuses not consistently rewarding the XP that you should be getting. So that should be fixed out as well now. But that was the update that we got as of today to give us a new playlist and everything that comes along with it. But also leading into Season 1, we got more good news here for Season 1, depending on where you fall on this kind of stuff. The next thing that we learned about today was changes to the way the Battle Pass works. Now, granted, we did see this revealed as of yesterday. We saw that we, of course, have that sort of pages of a book now this time instead of the sector map like the last 2 years, and not individually 1 to 100 like the last couple of years before that. But instead, beyond that, an additional change we learned of was the way that Black Cell works and the way that you can actually access the paid Battle Pass this year. The big thing that stirred a bit of controversy with the Battle Pass system in recent years was the introduction of Black Cell, right? Like, for those that don't remember, a quick refresher, Black Cell was introduced in Modern Warfare 2 Season 3. Up until that point, from Modern Warfare 2019 onwards, you could end up getting the paid Battle Pass for either 1,100 COD points or 2,400 COD points. And the nice part is that it allowed you to consistently roll over earned COD points from that Battle Pass into the next season, so that you essentially only had to purchase the first Battle Pass, and then you could roll it over into Seasons 2 to 6. And also, because COD points transfer over from game to game. But with the Season 3 update of Modern Warfare 2's post-launch year, we saw that option taken away, as it was either the Battle Pass or the Black Cell bundle, which was the Battle Pass bundle folded in with more cosmetic variants, but this time not for COD points, but $29.99 real cash. There was no COD point redemption option for that. So this naturally frustrated a lot of people, but it was something that we wouldn't see change at all through the rest of Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3. Now, however, we still do see that Black Cell persists, but not mentioned in the blog post, but currently confirmed to be the case. We now have both prior methods available. Of course, the Battle Pass is free, that you can end up going through and getting all of the weapons that you need to, so you don't have to do anything relating to buying into the Battle Pass. But if you want that base that starts you at Tier 1, you can get that for 1,100 COD points. If you want to start with 20 tiers of a Battle Pass bundle, that comes back for 2,400 COD points. But then you also have Black Cell for those that want that 20 tier bonus and all the Black Cell variants of blueprints and skins for $29.99. So instead of the 1 or 2 different ways you could only end up getting it, you now have that third option that gives you a bit more choice and allows you then to start rolling over your battle passes into the next season again, so long as you don't care about those Black Cell variants and blueprints. Because yes, technically Black Cell does give you air quote more, just variants of what we already see though. So if you don't care about that kind of stuff, this is great news, because you can again only pay for one battle pass and then consistently roll it over into the next seasons here for the foreseeable future, at least. Or so it appears to be, if it does follow that same system we've seen set up in years prior. So I think that's pretty solid to have. Now, the only other things up on deck today, we got a little bit more of a preview of the cosmetics and things. You can see the multiplayer maps in a multiplayer official trailer for Season 1. Yesterday, we ended up seeing the Area 99 trailer, so that was something that was more focused on Warzone, but this showcased a little bit of the multiplayer offering, which is definitely nice. We got a new cinematic trailer, which seems to set up an actual post-launch story this time around for Black Ops 6, which is 1, awesome, and 2, showcases a lot more ties in with this universal world of Avalon, which, if I can say, it might be a hot take, I don't know. I think that with everything being set up right now, I think I'd prefer to have Avalon than Verdansk for Warzone this year. But instead, as we know, Verdansk is returning in the spring, Avalon seemingly being pushed back as the big map for next year's game. It just seems odd to me that they're setting up so much universal tie-in with this place called Avalon, showcasing it plain as day in the trailers and the cinematics and everything like that, that we don't get to see that until next year, where they're setting up this post-launch story, and then when it's set up for a new story afterwards in Black Ops 7, perhaps, in theory, whenever we get to that, it'll be like, oh yeah, here's where we were last year. Like, it just seems odd to do all this setup and then just not have it this year as a tie-in. But that's just me. But beyond that, that's where we're kind of at. We do have more details to come over the course of the next coming days before we get into Season 1 next Thursday. I wouldn't expect anything this weekend, really. If it is something, we get like just maybe small teasers on socials, but I am expecting things like a larger blog post detailing the integration in full in particular, then maybe things detailing a little bit of the camo systems and how that's going to work within Warzone, because for the first time we have Warzone mastery camos to work towards as well. So we're going to see more stuff next week, absolutely leading up to what we have for the Black Ops 6 Season 1 launch. launch. But for the time being, we go into this last weekend of the sort of preseason with a nice little update to round it out. So that said, that is where we're going to wrap it up. Just wanted to fill you guys in and keep you in the loop with all things Black Ops 6 as we gear up for the last couple of days of the preseason before Season 1. So let me know your thoughts down below. Are you liking any of the changes made either to the game, to what was announced with the Battle Pass? Let me know. But if you guys enjoyed the video, if you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so almost a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 6. We've got a lot of stuff up on deck here still that you guys won't want to miss. So thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.